What's up guys, Rick with RallySport Direct here. Behind me, we've got our 2020 Outback XT. And over here, well, we've got something very big. Our Outback's getting a complete makeover thanks to LP Adventures. First, they sent us a 2-inch lift kit. Then up front, their big, full bumper guard complete with armor support. Along the sides, their rock sliders. And then moving underneath for some additional protection, their engine and CVT skid plates. Anyway, this isn't gonna be a full detailed install video. It's gonna be kind of a highlight overview. I'm just excited to get cranking on this. So let's get started. All right, first thing we've gotta do is get the car up in the air and remove the wheels. Next, we've got to get the front struts off the car. A few little clips there, some bolts, move up top, take the nuts off there, should come right out. Then once the struts are removed, we can go ahead and install the LP spacers. Throw the nuts on there, tighten them down, then put the struts back on the car with the LP logo facing outwards. Then go ahead and retighten everything up to factory specs. Now moving on to the back of the car, we can loosen up the control arm bolts, then go ahead and go up top and remove the 2 nuts holding the struts to the chassis. Now we can pop the stock struts out of there and then install our rear strut spacer. And before we reinstall the struts, we need to go ahead and space out the subframe. This kit does include a few spacers, so I just went ahead and installed the e-brake and the brake line spacers, then go ahead and drop down the rear subframe. Just make sure you've got something supporting it from underneath. Now here's the trickiest part, is installing the large spacers that go in between the subframe and the chassis. Just be patient, make sure everything lines up, and use the included long bolts for the install. But once they're in, grab the other spacers, go ahead and throw those in. But once those big spacers are in, you can go ahead and grab the other spacers, throw those in as well. Now with that done, you can finally go ahead and install our rear struts. Just make sure that the control arms are at or close to ride height when tightening everything up. Once everything's tight, bam, your lift kit's done. Now moving up front, we're gonna install the front bumper guard. Just zip off the front under tray. And I didn't get a video of the brackets being installed due to my camera not being able to fit in there, but they're just these guys right here. Follow the LP instructions, it's super easy. But once we've got those in place, you just kind of maneuver the guard into place, slowly making sure it all lines up. And once it does, you can just go ahead and bolt it down. Now here's a hint, this thing is big and it's heavy. Have a buddy help you out. Now moving on to the rock sliders. Now this is probably easier to do it on the ground, but it's pretty simple. You line up the front bolt goes into the control arm brace, and the rear bolt attaches to the rear subframe brace. Now if you have the lift kit, it's going to install just like you're seeing here. It replaces the aluminum spacer we installed earlier. If you don't have the lift kit, it's just simply gonna go on the bottom side of that subframe brace. But get everything tightened up and you're done. Now back up front for their ultra heavy duty and beautiful skid plate. Now the engine skid plate bolts right up to the bumper guard. So you just kind of get it in place, use the supplied bolts and spacers, and you're done. Well, unless you forget that they sent you the bolt protectors, in that case, go ahead and throw those on, tighten everything up, and then you get to have that special peeling feeling as you're peeling off all that protectant. And then moving back to the CVT skid plate, this one kind of gets woven in with the engine plate. So you just kind of put it in position, line it up, put your bolts in loosely. Maybe that was a bit too loose, but it's all good. Line everything up and just tighten it down. Then the last thing we did was wheels and tires. So just go ahead and throw those on, bolt them down, line up your center cap, pop those in, you're done. So how does it look? Pretty freaking awesome. I know I didn't go into a ton of detail on the actual install. That's because LP includes some awesome instructions in the box, so I didn't feel like that was necessary. Just want to give you guys a brief overview of the install. I really wanted to do a driving review, but I'm in my garage. Got a little bit sick, went home. Don't worry, I already took the test, it's negative. So hopefully I'll be back soon. We'll do a driving review, proper driving review, to kind of sum this thing all up. But either way, I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the video, thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos just like this. We'll see you guys on the next one, hopefully back in the shop.